for everybody. And I mean everybody. If LeBron James joined Steph Curry in Golden State. You see, the Lakers are not just one of the top two most storied franchises in basketball annals. The Lakers are box office. The purple and gold matters. Games at Crypto.com Arena are special. There's a different flair, there's a different flavor, no matter what you see from the Clippers. And I love the Clippers organization. I know a lot of people were there. It's like a high school environment compared to the Los Angeles Lakers. The stars come out for the Lakers. But let me tell you where all of that's going to change. They'll still come out to see Luka. They'll still come out and be Lakers. But I'm here to tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, LeBron and Steph Curry together in Golden State, if that happens, ladies and gentlemen, that's the Beatles and the Heatles all over again. The Beatles as in the Beatles music group in the 60s, the Heatles with the Miami Heat with LeBron, D. Wade, Bosh and the crew when they were in Miami. This is that. I will remind you that the great Steph Curry, the babyface assassin, the greatest shooter God has ever created, that dude is still a superstar in this game. Steph Curry, 38 years old. He looked 28. I mean, that might be pushing it. His conditioning is exceptional. His marksmanship is unparalleled. Oh, by the way, he's a 4-time champion. You're going to have people sitting up there talking about LeBron James' legacy. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. Times have changed. In the end, he's a basketball player. And I can't knock LeBron James for wanting to leave the Los Angeles Lakers if indeed you feel like you were just shoved to the side, like you were nobody. If your importance was diminished and flagrantly dissipated just because somebody new arrived in the house. If you know what you bring to the table and it's still of star quality, just because another star comes doesn't mean you get to sit up there and wave him off like he was nothing. I'm not saying the Lakers did that. I'm saying, based on all the noise we've been hearing, it was certainly perceived as being that way by LeBron James and his camp. And I got to tell you something right now. When you're as great as he has been, you deserve better than that if that is true. I'm going to always give Jeannie Buss the benefit of the doubt. I think she's wonderful. I love that woman. She's been on this a guest on this show on a couple of occasions, and she'll be back on soon. But I'm just telling you, if I don't know all the details, but I'm telling you right now, when Rich Paul sits up there and says he just wants to be happy, I believe it ain't just about the money. The man's worth over $1 billion. Got a mid-level exception that's available with Draymond Green opting out of his deal that puts the Golden State Warriors in a position to give him $15 million. LeBron knows he's not getting $50 million. He knows the cap constraints of most of the league. Me personally, I think his best shot at a championship is going back to Cleveland. That's where I think his best shot at a championship is. One could argue Miami too, with Bam and Giannis and Portis. But they got to build a roster. He go to Cleveland without Cleveland having to give up any of its assets. I think they're the automatic favorites in the Eastern Conference. And that's the one place in the NBA where he's deified. They probably ain't going to hang a statue for LeBron James in Miami. That's Wade County, even though LeBron would deserve it. They're certainly not going to hang a statue for LeBron in L.A., even though one could argue he deserves it, because if you hung a statue for Oscar De La Hoya in boxing, why not LeBron? But Cleveland, he's the closest thing to God in that part of the country. and they would welcome him back with open arms. How about star-studded affair? He's LeBron James. But if that brother decides to stay out west, to leave his family in California, and negotiates a deal with Joe Lacob and Steve Kerr and those boys where, you know what, he's home on all the off days, or he can fly home after games. Only a 45-minute flight now. I mean, that's about how long it takes him to get from Crypto.com Arena back to his crib. With LA traffic. I mean, he pulled this off. Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James joins Steph Curry. God help him if they keep Draymond Green and get Anthony Davis too. Lord have mercy. It's can't miss television. It's can't miss. It's box office. And LeBron and Steph to play together, I just don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. 888 Mad Dog 6, 888-623-3646. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. It's a big day. I don't know how big of a day it is for the Los Angeles Lakers. I can tell you that. I don't know. I really, really don't know. But we shall find out. That's the deal. Los Angeles right now, look, Luka's a bad brother. Bad isn't good. He is special. Offensively, he has nothing to write home about defensively. Neither is Austin Reeves. And the combination of those two being the cornerstones of the franchise. Ladies and gentlemen, I got news for you. They're not scaring anybody. Right now, if I had to look at the Lakers as presently constructed, they're a playoff team as an 8th seed. You ain't coming for OKC or San Antonio or Houston or Denver or Minnesota. You're not coming before any of those teams. You're not coming before any of those teams. And then when you take into account some other teams in the West, the Phoenix Suns of the world, I'm not going to ignore them. Utah's on the come up. Darren Peterson is believed to be somebody that's going to be special. We'll see. We shall see. There's a host of teams to look at. All right. Cooper Flagg still in Dallas. They got a new coach. He just drafted that kid Johnson out of Michigan. Kyrie coming back. Clay and PJ still there unless they get traded to LA Clippers for Kawhi, who, by the way, probably wants to go back to Toronto, and if he's not going to stay with the Clippers. There's a lot of things to think about out west. You the Los Angeles Lakers, where you looking at them as? Where you looking at them as? Inquiring minds want to know. But I'm going to tell you this about LeBron James. And I'm going to say this plain as day. You can't frown upon him departing from LA. You're a superstar in this league, get paid $50 million. Luka comes in. They immediately hand him the franchise, which is no crime there. He feels dismissed and disrespected to some degree. Then you ask him to be a third option, deferring to Austin Reeves. And then after you do all of that, you're talking about him taking anywhere from a $30 to a $40 million pay cut. I mean, listen, we can't just look at somebody and say, oh, they're a mercenary and they're just going to the highest bid. That's not what this is. That's not what this is. Y'all got to remember, the Chicago Bulls underpaid Jordan for years. And then the last 2 years of his career in Chicago, he got 30 and 33 million respectively. And when that happened, you even had people around the league like Pat Riley and others saying that, you know what, it should be entertained, that every team should chip in to pay Michael Jordan, and that cap constraints shouldn't apply to him because he's meant so much to the financial backbone of the league. Everybody should play a role in paying Michael Jordan because he helped get everybody paid. Now, did LeBron do that? No. but he's done an awful lot for the league. He's done an awful lot for the league. He's been a basketball ambassador for the league. This is what he's pulled off. Respect that man. Respect that man. I look at the Los Angeles Lakers right now. Don't tell me they're going to be better without him. That's a damn lie. Lakers in trouble. This is not a loss I believe they could have afforded to have. Not that you were going to go but so far with the same team you departed from this season, but I don't believe you're